Hey, I'm Jonette Cruz, and this is Unfiltered Weekly, your weekly wrap up on all things society, culture, and lifestyle news with trending stories and more. Make sure to subscribe to our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and now also on Substack. So the TikTok saga continues. The Trump administration is still very much so at work to keep TikTok running in the US despite of all of the drama. They want Oracle, along with some other outside investors, to take over TikTok's global operations. So as part of the deal being hashed out currently by the White House, TikTok's parent company ByteDance from China would still own a very small part. But Oracle will handle things like the app's algorithm, the data collection, and also software updates. The idea is to tackle data security along with privacy issues, which are a big part of why TikTok's future in the US is still currently up in the air. The plan would have American investors owning most of TikTok, bringing its ownership in line along with US interests, but the details are still pending as more meetings are planned for this upcoming week. Which brings me to my next story. iPhones with TikTok installed are currently going online for big bucks. Since TikTok isn't currently listed in the Apple App Store, people who can't download or re-download it are on the hunt for iPhones that already have the app. So people currently are putting iPhones on eBay for high prices. An eBay listing shows currently right now that there's an iPhone 16 Pro Max with TikTok on it selling for $50,000, catching the eye of about 80 people right now. And we also have one person selling an iPhone 15 with TikTok and CapCut for over $4.9 million. Who has some money for that right now? Have you heard of the term raw water? It's basically untreated water, and believe it or not, people are choosing to drink it either straight from a spring source or from companies that are currently selling it because it's their belief that it's healthier, when in actuality, it can be loaded with bacteria, parasites, and even animal waste. These can cause serious illnesses like diarrhea, vomiting, and even more complications. So while proponents claim it's healthier, the truth of the matter is our tap water actually undergoes rigorous amounts of treatment in order to kill these harmful microbes. The bottom line is resist the urge to sip straight from the stream. First Aid Beauty recently recalled 2,700 containers of their 4-ounce Ultra Repair Cream and Coconut Vanilla. The FDA classified the recall as a Class 2, which means it could cause temporary health consequences. The recall was due to a manufacturing error where some of the jars were accidentally released for sale instead of being quarantined. The affected cream has a specific lot code, so listen to this, 24D44 or 24D45. And the expiration dates of April 10th and April 11th of 2026. First Aid Beauty has already contacted customers who purchased the affected product and has offered replacements. The Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out and people are speculating what the cost will be. Early estimates put the price between around $399 and $499, which would be a significant jump from the original Switch's price of $299 when it first launched. A recent leak suggests the possible price of $449 or even $499, with a higher price likely due to a game that's added like Mario Kart. Nintendo hasn't announced the official price yet. Plus, with the potential trade issues and the rising cost of electronics, the final price could actually be even higher. We'll have to wait for the official Nintendo Direct launch on April 2nd to learn the full details. And Europe's top rights courts on Thursday ruled in favor of a 69-year-old French woman whose husband obtained a divorce on the grounds that she stopped having sex with him. The European Court of Human Rights condemned France, saying a woman who refuses to have sex with her husband should not be considered, in quotations I might add, at fault by the courts in the event of a divorce. The Strasbourg-based court said France violated Article 8 of the European Convention on Human Rights, relating to the right to respect for private and family life. It said that any concept of marital duties needed to take into account consent as the basis for sexual relations. The ruling came from a panel of 7 judges from 7 different nations that included Spain, France, Armenia, Monaco, San Marino, the Czech Republic, and Ukraine. The The mother of four, who wishes to remain anonymous, is quoted by saying, "I hope that this decision will mark a turning point for the fight for women's rights in France," she said in a statement. "This victory is for all the women who, like me, find themselves faced with unjust court rulings that call into question their bodily integrity and their right to privacy." The woman did not complain about the divorce, which she actually also sought, but rather about the grounds on which it had been granted, the court said. The woman and husband married back in 1984 and had 4 children, including a disabled daughter who needed the constant presence of a parent, a role that her mother took on. Relations between the husband and wife deteriorated when their first child was born. The woman began also experiencing some health problems back in 1992. Then in 2002, her husband began abusing her physically and verbally. This is again all which was stated from the courts. And she stopped having sex with him in 2012 and then petitioned for that divorce. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Unfiltered Weekly. Make sure to like, comment, follow, save, do all the things. If you have a story, we want to hear about it. So make sure you can even send us a DM on that. Also, subscribe. We want to make sure you hear all of our podcasts. We're located on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and now on Substack.